We are back to the Jesse Rucinski show. Hope you guys enjoyed your long weekend if you got to do anything. I know a lot of people are working as hard as that is to believe in the current, situation. 10.5 million jobs out there. 238,000 people, actually got jobs. You know, who's counting? Yeah. Anyway, hopefully though, you got to do something to enjoy it. I had a good weekend. We'll get into that, later. But a lot happened in that amount of time. A lot. I mean, it's mostly a lot of Taliban, Afghanistan stuff, but a lot happened. People, got out. The recall election stuff. Now there are some happenings, violence in Chicago, but I mean, is that really news at this point? I mean, I don't think so anymore. Some people seem to like not even think that's actually happening, which is actually kind of terrifying if you think about it. Because again, the numbers are actually there. Like, but I'm crazy for talking about. But anyway, first we're going to get into Taliban spokesperson Shaheen. Yeah, you see him talking to people all the time, which I mean, it's something. Even though we hear stories about them executing people, everything under the sun, but this time they have a spokesperson telling us everything's okay. I guess there's that. But the other day he said that there will be no issues about women's rights. Said this Friday, which I mean, it's nice to say. Will it actually happen? I have zero idea. I think I have a pretty good idea, but that's what he said. So at least there's that. But he also says that they oppose Western views, especially when it comes to them, them wearing the hijab, or in this case, not wearing it because that's in their culture. But he says that they should have an education with the hijab. They should be able to work with the hijab. That it's how they do it. They should be able to do it. I mean, they said that they should be able to have an education, work, and all that stuff. But in their culture, women wear the hijab, which, man, I've been over there. A lot of people have been over there. We've seen it. Can even see it here. Like a lot of, like, it's just their culture, man. It's what they've always done, whether you like it or not. So I can't really argue with them on that one. I mean, but you got to wait and see what they actually do. Like, that's the big one for me. Wait and see what they actually do. And he also said, when asked about future relations with the U.S., they said we should be focusing, you know, on how we can work together in a positive and constructive way, which is the best of interest of both sides. And that's where you start losing me a little bit, just because I know how they are, how things work out, all that, and I know what they're already doing. Hell, they've got what $85 billion worth of free, armament. We just gave them one of the damnedest air forces and militaries on the planet with all that stuff they got. So I mean, I'm that working out in anyone's best interest. Al Qaeda's already there. I mean, ISIS K is doing stuff and killing us there. I mean, so I don't really see how that's going to work out. But you know, gotta wait and see how it play. I have zero faith. I know a lot of people have zero faith, and I think this is going to get really, really bad. And we're going to be back in there. I stated that before, though. It should surprise no one that actually pays attention to anything that comes out of this mouth right here. And he does make, I mean, I guess a valid point when it comes to like stuff like I'll say the stuff, certain things, yes, it's their culture. I mean, we're never going to change it anyway. So I mean, but we should not be after changing each other's cultures. We are not intending to change your culture. You should not be changing our culture. Like I will give him that one. And again, no matter what, we can do our little parts here and there. You're never gonna like we weren't gonna change those things. No matter what, those people are always over there, and there's a reason they've survived so many. Well, the Roman Empire was there, Soviet Union. So I mean, like they are survivors, and we shouldn't go and have to worry about trying to change any of that stuff. So, I'll give them that. And there's certain things that no, like, and that's one of the problems I have with refugees coming. We were just flinging people out there left, right, and indifferently. And there have been a bunch that have been flagged for potential terror ties. At least 2 have been shipped out to Kosovo for stricter scrutinizing. Like, I don't understand how they got over here with that. Like, why'd they bring them here and not somewhere like Kosovo and not to actually check out all these people? Like, I don't understand that. Or I said I don't understand that. I think it's kind of stupid, actually. I know I really shouldn't call people stupid. Well, when you do stupid things, why bring them here if we have to turn around and possibly fly them back if they have terror ties? Because who's paying for that again? That would be the taxpayer dollars that we already have none of ever because we're at a deficit and they just keep spending and spending and spending. That's a whole other argument and story. Like, why'd we bring so many of them here without actually doing anything really? Like, we have all those places over there we can stick them. Like, I'll never get that. No one will ever try to make sense of that to me because there is no sense to it. It doesn't make a lick of sense. So you never, I mean, I think that's going to keep getting worse. Several child brides and stuff that are brought over there underage. Which again, their culture, but it doesn't fit in here. And those things like create all kinds of different problems and, laws of ours and everything here. So, you know, we shouldn't be trying to change theirs. They should be trying to change ours. But if they come here and stuff like that, that's bringing theirs into ours, and it'll be changing ours to accept theirs. So I just don't like how any of that works. I think it's all stupid. Seeing people try to make Sharia law like a real thing here still, which is mesmerizing. And I guarantee you, there's thousands more of these stories that are going to keep coming out. You'll never hear them on like the mainstream media because I've looked at the numbers. I mean, some of them haven't given any airtime to anything in Afghanistan since, if we pulled out and left people behind, like they're not saying a word about it. They've just moved on, which again, really didn't want to happen, but it is. I don't know. It's like the way we pulled out, everyone we left behind, State Department's incompetency and all of it. General Milley over in Ramstein, Germany, said likely that terror groups will grow and thrive in that situation. And it could be a national, be a threat to our national security, which means we pulled out, we just gave them the whole country, and that's probably going to end terribly. Like, I don't know why people argue with me about that. It's not going to end well. Like, I can't believe people actually do argue with me with that, but we all know what side people arguing with me are on. Don't mind me. They're all on one side. So the other side, I'm sorry, this is how this works. You've never been there. Too bad, tough. Nick, it sucks to be you. But he's even going, it probably isn't going to end well. Like, I've been saying that this whole entire time, getting told vehemently to just shut the hell up, and no, it won't. By most of them. There's been a few lucid moments from all of them. Like, it's probably not good. Yeah, it probably isn't good. So, see how that plays out. One of those, you ever like hope that you're wrong? I mean, those are the times where you always end up being right. So, we'll see how that works out. But I mean, even Milley right there saying that, like, and again, closing words from Afghanistan was, we have closed one chapter, which was us being there. For us, it was occupation. We ended that. We are staging resistance, but now it is closed. It is the past. We have to focus on the future. That is better for them and for us. And now they're getting ready to, new government, only going to assist Taliban members, contain 25 ministries, and consultative council of a dozen Muslim scholars. Some of the original, one of the co-founders is going to be running it. One of the other co-founders' son is going to be running it. I've seen stories of that. The 4 of the 5 people that got traded for Bo Bergdahl's traitorous scummy ass. We all know how I feel about him. Deal with it. You said otherwise. Yeah, well, OJ said he didn't kill her too. really is a good analogy too. But like 4 of those 5 are now in Afghanistan and running the government. Yeah, government. Put some air quotes around that. So you can say whatever you want about people trading people, letting out 5,000 people. Trump did. Then they went and got somehow the Taliban, who hates ISIS-K and all that, emptied out all those prisons that were housing Al Qaeda and ISIS-K members. There's some Taliban in there, I'm sure too, but they let them out and handed them an army. And everyone's making all about Trump. Well, don't forget, they just left them $85 billion worth of stuff. Trump wasn't in office. This is all their plan because they extended the deadline. They blamed the deal. I went over the deal. There's nothing said anything about it. They let all this happen. They left our security up to them. They left people behind. And when Joe was vice president, him and Obama traded 5 Taliban members for a traitor. He was. Walked off his post. People died going to look for him. He literally walked off to go and be with them. And gave 5 of them back, who said they were never going to see Afghanistan again. And 4 of them are now in Kabul starting to run the government. So put a good closing penny on that. But that's not good by any means. It's actually really bad. Don't know any other way to put it. I think it's just going to keep getting worse, but for the love of God, people can anyone actually take responsibility and blame the proper people for when they do stuff? And it's Trump. Well, yeah, he let people go. He didn't trade people for deserters that were on top lists that are now part of the takeover of the whole country and running the thing. You see all the reports of planes not being able to lift off that have people in them because the State Department is all screwy and Taliban won't let them leave. There's all kinds of just idiocy going on. No one's hearing about. And again, everyone's still Trump, Trump, Trump. And I have more on that funny stuff a little bit. Before we get to that, we do have to talk about the Labor Day weekend in Chicago. I know, 63 shot. Shocker. I know, for anyone that talks about all these great gun laws. 6 killed in Chicago over the weekend, including the 4-year-old who shot while getting a haircut. 6 of those 63 people shot. One of them was that child, and 9 of the injured were children. So again, it's coming out of Chicago. Who's really surprised? I'm not, but everyone, they have the best. Yeah, we need stricter gun laws. Yeah, no matter what, criminals are keeping, doing criminal things. So everyone should be able to have guns. I don't know, defend themselves. Because the crime spikes in liberal major cities and stuff, it's real. I'm not making any of this up. I wish I could, but tax on police going up. True story. Don't like it? Tough. No matter what the gun laws are, criminals are still going to do criminal things. So I think everyone should be able to have weapons to defend themselves. Hell, we just arm terrorist groups, but we can't, do that. But 63 in one weekend for anyone trying to, say that, we need stricter gun laws like all these places. Yeah, just taking the guns out of the hands of innocent people just helps criminals thrive. And my kids are getting shot. And they can say whatever they want about it, but look at everything they've done in the police department. In a lot of these major cities, they took money away. People are fleeing, no cash bail, all the things they're doing are ramping up this craziness because it's actually better for the system works better for the criminals. I'm sorry, you're shooting people, you killed somebody. Too bad, so sad, sucks to be you. Keep talking about overpopulation, but they're the ones committing the crimes. Get rid of them off the streets. Crimes will go down instead of just no cash bail, just letting everyone out. That's why stupid shit keeps happening. That's why a lot of the people that got let out for COVID went and reoffended. That's why I'll be sorry, Chicago, New York, Atlanta, many places in California, St. Louis, a few places in Tennessee. Crime is going up. Shootings, all kinds of bad things are going up all over the place. There's now allegedly Antifa members shooting right-wing groups, members at things. It's getting catastrophic. And for some reason, you're not getting any coverage of that. But the numbers are really actually all there. So I don't know what the problem is, but 63 shootings, people shot in one Labor Day weekend in Chicago. 9 injured were children, 6 dead. One of them was a 4-year-old getting his hair cut. And no one gets anything. But every time a Black Lives Matter thing happens or something happens to one of them, no matter what the circumstances, the mainstream media jumps all over it. Makes them out to be a hero. Obama, Kamala, Joe, everyone's meeting them and praising them and bastardizing the cop for doing his job and protecting people because, we now have to make the heroes out of thugs and criminals, which I don't understand. But 63, I'm pretty sure that like in one weekend in one city, I'm pretty sure that and they're already up higher than they were last year. In Chicago's lots of shootings all the time. So I don't know how people even argue with me about it or try to argue anyone about it because the stats are there and they're plain as day and they're screaming at them. But hell, it's just like global warming. Yes, guess what? It is getting warmer. I'm not saying that. But while the storms are getting more powerful, the rate of them is actually going down last time I checked. But they'll keep arguing that, everything's going to hell in a handbasket. We're all going to be dead in 10 minutes. So, you just can't fix stupidity. We can try, but you can't. I'm trying to even mean that to be a segue, but that's a great segue. For again, another thing to catch up on, which I'm really been not even stunned by, but California with the recall election, Governor Newsom, they have a 2-to-1 edge when it comes just to voters across the state in the first place. Right? It's a lot. So it's almost impossible for him to lose. And there's still Elizabeth Warrens, the celebrities, all these people saying we have to do it. Newsom's out there running his suck. With all the other people running, Republicans are on no mandates for anything. Why? Free country, conservation stuff that isn't happening, which is why the state's burning to the ground every year. All kinds of stuff, and it's amazing. The only thing I keep hearing Gavin Newsom and all them, really the big one they're talking about, they have to keep just throwing Trumpism in there. Well, we defeated Trump, but we didn't defeat Trumpism. Does anyone realize? You have 2-to-1 advantage just in voters in your dump of a state. And the only thing they can still run on to try to beat is what? We haven't gotten rid of Trumpism. That's all they have. His name has to keep coming up. You own the state. Not my fault people are fleeing it, which means at least people are realizing how big of a shit sandwich it is. But always got to throw Trump, and that's what you're running on right now. You got to beat all these people because of Trumpism, Larry Elder, Trumpism. Actually, it's just using a brain, but the only thing they can run on, really, again, how many times did I hear the word Trump and Trumpism come out of their mouth during all these? And no, I don't see them all, but I see enough. I do pay attention, read transcripts. Why are you bringing him up at all? He's not there. He's not doing anything. And last time I checked, before Trump was president, crime rates and homelessness and drug problems and crime, shootings, education was going down. All the bad things were going up, and all the good things that you want, in education, are going down. And cost of living kept going up, gas kept going up. Everything kept going up, regardless if Trump was there or not. Rolling blackouts are a thing now, from their energy policies and their environmental stuff and all that. And when we're running, conservatives are running on stuff like that, stop the wildfires and help do this and that. The only thing they still have is Trump. Hate to break it to anyone with a brain. Especially if, it's the celebrities out there and the big people, because there's a lot of them between all the, they just look at it. A lot of blue out there, a lot of them are, celebrities, richies, athletes, liberal schools, all this. How many people left and fled? The main thing for me is they just don't care about you. If anything needs to be shown, look at all the people coming out with all those crimes up, shootings up. You could literally walk into the store and steal $1,000 worth of stuff. See you later. Bye. Nothing. Drug use is homelessness running wild, wildfires all the time, rolling blackouts again, education in the toilet. All these things are happening. But these people keep voting for it. Why? Because all the people that are in big positions keep doing all that. and are helping run for him and give him money and all that, campaign for him. And like they're all up in the upper echelon, like they're in that top 1% in the state. So they get to, don't have to worry about crime reaching their door, their streets, or inflation, making things, gas prices going up, rolling blackouts. They ain't getting blacked out. They can go to private schools so they can get the kids can get real education, not shitty public school and get indoctrinated and just not learn anything. Like the big upper 1% of that state is what's actually bearing it because there's so many of them. So hell, maybe hopefully everyone that lower class people, middle class, hopefully those all leave all the idiots to burn on their own because they're the ones doing all this. They're the ones putting in all the money, and they're the ones that, like I say, with all of them, none of them are affected by any of this. Really, again, they have multiple houses, cars, maids, butlers, all the like private schools, wine and dine, whatever the hell they want. They're not dealing with blackouts, crime, any of that because it doesn't affect any of them. But they keep running on it all. We need to defund this and no, like they don't give a damn. And no, how about no and more no. So hopefully, like a lot of people just say no, and that one out of every two, like hopefully none of them miss it and get them out of there. I mean, it's not a political thing. Like all these things were happening, and he has made them 1,000 times worse. Like Gavin Newsom and all their progressive craziness, like it's not good. It's actually very bad. And whenever anyone brings any of this up, we're going to do this. They don't argue the facts. They just argue Trumpism. They're just another Trump guy. Like, sorry, the shitty policies you're doing, those are all liberal policies in your big ass blue state, which are affecting the little people in the state, and the big people are still prospering and not having to deal with any of it. That's a very bad thing. That's who runs that state, while the little people are getting just dumped all over, mandated, shut down, everything. Like their lives are getting screwed. All the 1%ers in there, they don't give a damn. They didn't even realize anything happened, or what they want to say. It didn't affect their lives. As we saw, Gavin Newsom was still at the French Laundry. People were still doing all kinds of stuff. Little people had to shut down their business. They keep, not affect the big ones because they have so much money. They have all these things and everything. Like it's just, I'm not calling all of them out. There's some good ones, but it's Trumpism. Like actually just keep until that election, just keep hammering down on them. That's all I could say to Caitlyn Jenner, Larry Elder, all of them. Keep hammering on the actual policy things. Go and see real people that are getting affected by this stuff. You'd be surprised. I mean, if you get every one of them to, you can get enough to, possibly get the miracle and get rid of Gavin Newsom. And I've been on him not because he's a Democrat, it's because his policies are garbage. And they hurt the average day normal person, and he's a hypocrite. And he does, it's one of the say, do as I say, not as I do. Rule for thee, not for me. There's one of those. Like those people shouldn't be running anything. I'm sorry, the only person he gives a damn about is himself. And you've seen him breaking down in interviews and stuff throughout all this time. So I hope that everyone shows up. Everyone shows out. I hope they do. I really, 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 really hope they do. Because he's just out of his depths. He's an idiot. Out of his league. I don't know what the hell he's doing. All I gotta do is look at the state and how it's going. Like I'm not doing it to be saying it to be a dick. Like it's just true. If you don't like it, well, I'm sorry for you. I don't know what else to say. Like you're kind of dumb. Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I just hope everyone shows up and does their civic duty, which we heard so many times throughout 2019 and 2020. And then, well, between all the shenanigans, it's still not everyone showed up. And look where we are now. And anyone can say, I'm proud of my president, on the left, but those are called dumb people, because what is there to be proud of? Inflation rate highest in history, legal immigration now over, I think it's at a 22-year high, and the year isn't even over yet. Gas prices the highest it's been since 2014 and sustained for this long. Everything that happened in Afghanistan and giving away $85 billion worth of taxpayer equipment like Black Hawk helicopters and giving them bigger air force than most of our allies. between all the weapons and gave them the country, left Americans behind, all that. Like how you're proud of them for that, I'll never understand. A third of the unaccompanied minors that came across the border that lost contact with altogether, they're just gone poof. Who knows what happened to them? Fentanyl, now there's more of it already caught coming across the border than the last 2 years combined, almost doubled actually. Like, and that was just last reported. I mean, that doesn't include the stuff that isn't getting caught. I mean, we saw Israel and all that, Palestinians, like it's just like crime is surging. Try to say whatever you want, it's surging. Look at the number of, all this is going up. Like, what is he actually like? We have 10.5 million job openings, 238,000 people rejoin the labor force because people are still getting paid more. I mean, it might have extended, gone away, but he also said states have money, so they can extend it if they want. So people can still sit on their ass at home and make more money, which is shutting down small businesses more than it does the big guys. Like, now they are just, it was all Trump. We're trying to fix Trump. Like, how come when you came in and started doing all this, everything went to hell? Like, I'm sorry, it's y'all's policies, and anyone that's proud of him, like even the liberal polls are saying people are done with Biden. So maybe you're still on the bandwagon. Please turn on the news source that isn't from the mainstream, or look up transcripts or actual facts. Because believe it or not, like the stats in all the systems are real. They are all there for you to see. They don't fudge those numbers. They just don't talk about them. Wake yourself up. Please, for the love of God, everyone needs to do that. But we can only hope. This is what they always say. But no, I mean, we'll see. I have hope. I think there's a big, renaissance coming through. A lot more people seem to be waking up. Sorry, well, you might not have liked the man, but he's been gone for this long. They've redone all of his policies, and everything they've done has gone to complete and utter shit. And they want to keep spending, which is going to keep making inflation and all kinds of other things go up. And it's not going to end well. And like, if you don't understand, I'm sure everyone listens to this knows people that don't understand that. It still baffles me and hurts my head to no end that people don't get that, but they're out there. So hopefully the good people show up, turn out, and no shenanigans happen. But I have zero faith. Every time we do something and try to make more election integrity, like making IDs necessary, we get told we're being racist and all hell breaks loose. So I don't know. We'll figure it all out soon enough, but hopefully the good people show out, because he really is a monster and a mess, and he's pretty much just the prime example of what the hell is wrong with that side. Because look at the state, first time ever it's lost people, and it lost people by a lot, and a congressional district. That's a lot of people fleeing, getting out of that shithole. So please make smart decisions. Actually look at stuff before you vote. It'll help everyone out. And with that, let's get on to the positive thing from my Labor Day weekend. I got an opportunity. First, I thought the opportunity was gone when I woke up Friday through bad ticks. Suddenly, all the tickets were gone. Oh, man, missed out. I was trying to make it so I can go with a group of people, but, and they're all gone, and then went and celebrated Hannah's dad's birthday. We got home. I don't remember if I was in the living room or where I was, but she was doing something else, and I broke the door down because 2 more tickets became available to go to the Southern 500 in Darlington, South Carolina. It's a doubleheader with a truck race. So yes, I went. I mean, hell yeah! Like now, I might have tried pretty penny for last minute hotel reservation, but it was all that was available. And I wasn't staying in no flea motel like where the place isn't even parked and just no lighting. And like, no, that's just shady. But that isn't the moral of it. The moral of it is we were there. And at that track that day in South Carolina, no matter what anyone says, there's American flags, South Carolina flags, NASCAR flags, Trump flags, cop flags, Confederate flags, still, no matter what they say. Like, there was all kinds of stuff, like military flag branches. Like, there was so much. There was people from all across everything. Black people, white people, Hispanic people, Asian people, disabled people, mentally disabled people. There were midgets. I mean, there was you could see people that were all dolled up and dressed up, people that you tell they're people from all the different classes in society. And they didn't care about the Trump flags or the Confederate flags or the anything flag or the differences between anybody. Everyone's sitting there jumping up and down, celebrating, laughing, high fiving, talking with everybody. Like I had people talking all over places, having conversations with each other, random strangers that we never met of all different backgrounds. And now, like, whatever, like, guess what? I'm sure that not everyone had the same exact view about Trump, the military, race, any of them. Like, there's a lot of people that agree, but not everyone was exactly the same. And everyone still got along. No one messed with anybody. No one talked down to anybody. No one tried to make anyone feel lesser. We were all equal people just trying to get along, have a good time, melt in the sun and watch some NASCAR racing. All of us in the grandstand sitting next to each other, not a problem. Lots of talking and laughing. Lots of it. So, my question is, why do they? I mean, they keep just talking nothing for. I mean, really, it's been since Obama and the Michael Brown thing, and Ferguson burned to the ground. We're just race. Now, critical race theory and all the people standing up to that, they should. But like, if you want to have it, like, no, and I brought Hannah, who'd never been to a NASCAR race already, wants to try to go to another one this weekend. But moral, never mind me, is that everyone, if you want to have a good time and see all that, like, and guess what? There was no anything about it, about any of the stupid race. None of it. No little, slogans on the wall or the track or anything, helmets, no black national anthem, no anything that could piss anyone off. It was God bless America, prayer, national anthem. We had the fly over the flag, and everyone was there cheering, hat off, except for the yoo-hoo in front of me, who I wanted to just not just hat off his head, but I decided to be an adult about it. Everyone was there just sitting, getting along. Like, if you want to see it, like, go to places like that, go to short tracks. Like, go do stuff like that where they're not purposely throwing, like, catchphrases on the thing or black national anthems before the national anthem, even though it's not the white national anthem, it's all of the national anthem. It's doing the black national anthem is divisive. Putting those things on there is divisive. It's divisive. It's going to piss people off. It's off-putting. All it does is like divide us farther. And we're already really, really far, if you ask me. Doesn't take much to notice it either. And it's all off of just dumb shit. I'm sorry. Like, everyone could say whatever the hell they want to about NASCAR. Oh, and for rednecks and, beer drinking idiots and all that. Like, but I saw people from all across the board super dressed up. People in like cut off jorts or jean shorts, in case you didn't know. Daisy Dukes, people like dressed up. Like people with mohawks with a fur jacket. If you watched the race, guess what? I was right next to that guy as the cameraman got him. I just happened to be a few feet the wrong way, but right there, that guy, like we are all veterans, people are not veterans, doctors, lawyers, like everyone was there. Like that is still alive in there, no matter how much hope a lot of people don't have. Because we really are. I mean, it's not a good, state of affairs in the country because, they've just been pushing hate and division for so long, whether, black versus white, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, Antifa against, Proud Boys, like just all cops are racist, like all this just dumb stuff. Trump people against everyone else because, people that want to get masked, vaxxed versus non-vaxxers. Mask, no mask, like they're just doing everything, calling people that don't like the Taliban. Like I've been literally called the Taliban because I made it this far. And I haven't got it. And if I got it, see how it goes because those antibodies are better. Anyway, proven out to be just as good in numbers as the people that get the boosters. Get the vaccines and they have to get boosters and all that. Like, how many is there going to be? Like, but I've been called the Taliban a terrorist because of who I voted for, like all kinds of dumb shit. And a lot of people listening to this, you've been right there with it. Here's what I think: you should be able to do whatever the hell you want. But that unity and that, who cares? Like, sorry, NFL, BA, everyone else that's doing all that dumb shit. Like, that's why you're losing people. That's why your ratings are going down. Like, the one thing they had on the wall was get vaxxed on the wall at the race, Darlington. If you watched it, you probably saw it on the walls. But if you didn't watch the truck race at the beginning of the day, that was the In It to Win It, was sponsoring it. And they also had like a tent and like an ambulance and truck that were there actually giving people vaccinations. So it was them sponsoring it. So Get Vaxxed was on the wall within it to win it, because they're the one that sponsored the race. So you can put that on there. They're putting their money where their mouth is. But it is like, so highly recommend. Like if you want to see like the world, like we all know that really not all that racist and everyone doesn't hate each other. Please, like, go to a NASCAR race. There's not too many left this year, but go. People, all different people. Doesn't matter what they were, what color they were, how tall they were, the weight, just getting whatever sexual orientation, everything. Everyone was like money bracket, like everyone was there, had a good time, and there wasn't anything wrong. Like we all just drank beer, water, Gatorade, ate hot dogs, and just hung out like normal people, like Americans. But believe it or not, we're not all that divided. People just use their damn brains, and apparently everyone there used their damn brain. Just went to have a good time because that's what those are supposed to be. They're supposed to be sports and all. They're supposed to help you get away from reality and give you a break from it, not drive you farther up the wall and make people hate each other even more, which is what all the other sporting leagues, sorry, they really are going out of their way doing, in my opinion. So that's my own close. I get caught up with that. Like that was probably the best like goosebumps that I had in a long time, just because everyone just, it wasn't like the stupid like you see everywhere else. No one cared. Everyone got along. People were helping each other, and talking, laughing, cheering. Like it was really, really, really good. So I highly recommend if you get a chance, whether you're a fan or not, if you've never seen one at all, like go see one, see what you think. You can get decently cheap tickets if you go and look for them just to see what it's like. But it's good just to go there. Wide national anthem, maybe God Bless America if they play it again. Prayer, flyovers, American, like no matter what you see there, like people are actually not douchey and shitty to each other at those things because they don't go out of their way to piss everyone off. And their only requirement was, they asked you to wear masks inside of like the bathrooms because it closed, enclosures, which they weren't even like enforcing. People still wore them when they wanted to. People didn't. Like it wasn't like Nazis running around getting at people and freaking out and like, or just even mask police, people running around, like they just let people be people. It was great. So get out and get one. I'll give you a small little glimmer of hope that all hope is not gone. But anyway, enough off my soapbox about that. It was just really good to see for a change after the way everything has been for as long as any of us can remember, it seems. But I appreciate the listen and the watch. Please share it out. That helps. Free advertisement is the best kind of advertisement. Don't forget the videos are, as long as they're, let's find Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, and the link gets shared together for all the episodes. And then Instagram, they're officially all uploaded as long as they're under an hour long. If they're over an hour, I can't put them on there. So you're going to have to go on Rumble. Rumble still has every single one of them, and so does Facebook. Audio wise, obviously Anchor, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Overcast, Spotify, and Apple and Google Podcasts. If you follow along there, I appreciate it. The sponsors appreciate it. You can get all caught up without having to look at this half tooth and this beautiful face. So beautiful, I hide it with all that hair so you don't have to see it, but they're all there. Give me a follow, stick around, follow along there. It's a good place to do it. And you'll know Facebook and YouTube and all of them are, Facebook and YouTube especially are censoring things out. So follow along though, share it out, comment on the videos, tell me what you think. I appreciate all of you. Like how quick some of the things got viewed on Instagram made me feel good that fast they were getting, watched. So if you're one of them, please share it out on Facebook to share everything. And hopefully again, you had a good weekend. We'll be back to do another one of these things. I think we got some good momentum, but again, thank you to everybody for watching and listening and following along. Keep it up, share it out. Tell me what you think. Enjoy the rest of your night. Be nice to people. Enjoy Taco Tuesday or whatever you're having. And until next time, my friends, peace.